r/DeadBedrooms. Unimpressed but faking says, do you deserve sex? That's what she asked me during yet another fruitless talk. What makes me think I deserve sex? Paying all the bills so she can be a Sam, despite our child being in school all day for a few years. Par for the course. Date nights, foot rubs, etc. I'm supposed to, as intimacy is important. Spending time that I don't want watching her garbage ass shows and listening to her spend over an hour talking about something I don't care about. That's quality time. Can't be love. Love and sex are two different things. I'm pissed by now, but calmly asked, why do you deserve marriage? Why do you deserve the ultimate protection and provision that I can give you through my name? No, don't bring up parenting our child. That's what you're supposed to do. You should be a good mom, whether married or single. Same with keeping up the house. Actually, you don't handle 100% of either, since I also parent and help maintain the house. You're not the only one wielding a mop or going to the pediatrician. So, what do you do for me to make me want to stay married to you? A working partnership and a satisfying marriage are two different things. She got upset and accused me of thinking that her only worth was when she was freaking. I didn't back down. I told her that if she can say that, I can say that she only married me for resources and a family. My only worth is that of provider. And I can provide for someone who is happy to frick me while co-parenting with a great partner. Also, I'll be waiting when she gives me the reason that she deserves marriage. Think about that, baby. Frick, it felt good to say it. It felt better to realize I meant it. I've been wavering and hating myself for wanting to leave, and hating myself for trying to stay. Time to roll up, watch Tiny Toons, and remember a time I was happy. Feastwald says, nobody deserves sex. The thing is, with relationships you usually have an implicit contract of monogamy, and although it doesn't apply to everyone, it's common for people to consider sex a necessity. So, if during a marriage one side decides there is no sex anymore, that's like a breach of an arrangement. The same as if you got married saying you wanted kids, and then decide you don't anymore. The situation changes. One can argue, if I was aware of this, I wouldn't have gotten married in the first place. Everyone can go through ups and downs, and making it an obligation never helps. But if one side explicitly says I don't want it anymore, it is what it is, then that means the arrangement needs to be reevaluated. It may not be his/her fault. The lack of libido is there anymore, but if it is a problem, it should be seen as the couple's problem and not a problem of the high libido person. If there is an effort from both sides, for instance, therapy, it's fair game. You don't control what Tao don't control. However, if the low libido side says not my problem, then it isn't even about sex anymore. It's about lack of empathy. It's about your partner not caring that you are objectively unhappy. And that is the deal breaker, nothing to do with deserving. Nick says, this is exactly what was eye-opening to me. It started as she not wanting sex anymore. Even after multiple conversations nothing changed, but it also made me realize how little my overall happiness mattered. If she was happy, that is all she cared about. Or at least it felt that way. Man Kibbeth says, this is a spot-on analysis. Saving this for my future reference. Throwaway 13,579 says, way to stand up for yourself. I would frequently get accused of only wanting her for sex, until I shot back with, if that were true, I would not still be here. And that seemed to end that line of accusation for good. Unimpressed but faking says, yeah. I used to feel like some rappy monster when she said that. Now I think it's just a said to make me shut up. Throwaway 13,579 says, it is 100%. It's a completely unfair and illogical accusation, and she knows it. The first time it's leveled against you, your instinct is to deny it and try to prove them wrong. It's only afterwards that you step back and realize not only is it not true, but it's an assassination of your character and frames you as an abuser. Once I realized that, I fought it with every breath, because I won't stand by and be accused of being abusive just because I want to make love with someone who's supposed to be my partner. Stupid Apkakwa says, why are you still married? Unimpressed said but faking says, because, despite my moments of testicular fortitude, I'm stupid cowardly when it comes to just saying, I want a divorce. I know I'm headed there, but I keep hoping for a Hail Mary or some miracle to make it like it was. r/DeadBedrooms. Sad Cauliflower 7198 says, wife low libido and shocked me high libido with a solution. So, my wife and I have been married for 21 years. Got married young and were very sexually active. Now I'm in my low 40s and she is upper 30s. Around 5 years ago, the sex really started to slow down, to which I didn't mind. Last year, she admitted that her libido has diminished, if not fully went away. Shortly after, she needed a partial hysterectomy. Was told there was a small chance her libido could be affected. Now that we are about a half year post-op, I think it has fully drained. We have only had sex once since, but it was bland. She just laid there. A few months later, about a week ago, we speak about it again, and she basically said the same. She has no interest in it anymore, and could be content with never having it again. What she said next is what shocked me. She gave me the okay to wear, if I would like to go get it somewhere else. She wouldn't mind, as long as we stay married. Now I do respect her. When the sex started slowing, I never insisted or pushed, but now that it is non-existent, I'm really thinking of taking her up on her offer. I'm not going to push her into doing something she doesn't want to do. I'm not ready to call it quits. I'm nervous of the fact that me respecting her will mean I never have it again. So, I'm looking to see if there are any others that have had this kind of situation. Did you proceed and enjoy? I'm not looking for other women to try and be my mother and suggest communicating or counseling or warn me of falling in love with someone else who knows might happen. If I wanted those, I would have done it without typing this. Just looking if there were others in this situation and how it worked out for them. Arnold Armadillo says, I have been outsourcing my sex life 100% for 6 years. After fighting about sex for many years, I offered my wife the option of divorce or open marriage. She chose the latter. I see 2 escorts once or twice per month each. I'm in my 60s, and that's enough for me. In very many ways, this is the happiest period of our 42-year marriage. Janezibgud says, my wife and I have this arrangement for the same reasons. Sexless and frustrated for years, I finally asked her. Our day-to-day dynamic has always been good, but is better now, since I don't resent her anymore, and she doesn't feel pressure or guilt about not being romantic in the bedroom. Not all marriages can work this way, so I guess we are lucky. Eachson says, my wife doesn't have a hysterectomy. She just had years of depression and stress that throw a wet blanket on her libido and make it difficult for her to orgasm when she does have sex. As you phrased it, I proceeded and I very much enjoyed. I personally prefer to date married women near my age, 43. It's gone very well for me. Still married, have had plenty of sex elsewhere. Seaweed0527 says, before you do this, make sure you can respect yourself afterwards. Commit to being introspective about how you see fidelity in your marriage. If you are good, go for it. I work with a lot of men who do this on business trips and they have the best marriages. It is strictly sex, no different than getting a haircut. I'm not sure if their wives know or care. The one time I saw this go really wrong is that it was supposed to be kept secret from everyone they knew. I worked with her at a former job and she told me about it and was happy with the fact he got it elsewhere. Many years later, I joined his firm. At large conventions I saw it play out, could care less, it isn't my marriage. Even though she is the one that told me about it, it completely humiliated her when I started working with her husband. Not sure why, but it did. So my only advice to you is to keep your lips shut and tell no one. Illustrious_bed 902 says, look up poly or ethically non-monogamous, and there are dating apps, field, in particular, that are more open about what people are looking for/want. How active those are will depend on your area, but if you are near/in a major metropolitan area, you will be fine. r/DeadBedrooms. Triphawk says, she said cleaning would change things, not true. Me, HLM28, and my wife, LLF27, have a great marriage overall. However, we have sex maybe once a month if that. We've talked about a libido difference a lot and aimed for intimacy twice a week. That hasn't happened for a long time. Months ago, she said we'd probably be intimate more often if I did more cleaning around the house. She doesn't want to feel like my mom cleaning up after me. Fair enough, she's a bit of a clean freak and I'm a bit of a slob, and it's been a simmering issue since we moved in together 3 years ago. I improve for a week or two then fall off. This time, I've kept up the cleaning for months, and she has been vocally much happier with me. A tidy home is very important to her, so it makes a big difference. I've also just been a good partner in general, which she also says. Still, no sex. I've tried and failed to initiate a few times, and she hasn't tried at all. She's leaving for a work trip and I'm so happy. I hate being in a small apartment with someone who doesn't desire me at all. Perth Guy 999 says, owning your shit as an adult is important, but Cora play doesn't work. In her defense, maybe she doesn't know why her libido is so low, and honestly thought it was because of the state of the house, or her resentment over your slobbiness. I will say that a few months of picking up your smelly socks might not undo 3 years of simmering frustration, but cleaning the house clearly isn't the silver bullet she was hoping it was going to be. Has she always been low libido? Did you marry someone expecting them to suddenly be a different person, or has sex slowed down over time? At this point I would definitely be asking her to come to marriage counseling with you, to see what other issues are lurking beneath the surface. Narrow_truth 9133 says, nope, I fell for that one already. Do chores because they need to be done, and you'll feel better for it, but don't expect it to make your wife horny. Mrapotter 1492 says, I got the same line years ago. We started MC last year, and she said in one of the first sessions that she needed me to do more around the house for her to be in the mood to want to have sex with me. So the past 8 months, I've been doing exponentially more. We had sex a few times this past spring, but now it's been 3 months since we have. So, call me jaded, but I don't buy it. That doesn't mean I don't think the guy shouldn't pull his weight around the house, we do. But, I think it's just another excuse to not have sex when at the end of the day, they are just not that into sex and physical intimacy. Delas Biscuits says, got the same shit, nothing changed. I got passive aggressive with it afterwards, because being honest and straightforward wasn't getting anywhere. Then he brought up pick up after yourself. I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. So I kind of gave up hope and stopped caring. Shitty situation all around, but not to sound like a dick, but the blame was on him. On a more around _82 says, just like mine. She's a narcissist, no matter how much you do, it'll never be enough. Larissy says, speaking from the perspective of being in your wife's shoes for many years. It took me a while to convey to my husband in what ways I felt like I was having to mother him. Household shit, buying what he needed when he needed, shampoo, underwear, anything, reminding him of appointments. It wasn't just the household duties that were weighing me down, it was the overall feeling of being the only adult in the household. Carrying the emotional and mental load was a huge libido killer for me, still is sometimes, even though we've worked through so much of it. And in all of this, the caretaker role really kills the attraction and desire for the other partner, which I'm still working on. I spent so many years being the mom to a man-child that it's been hard rekindling that attraction to the man I married. And there is always a doubt that this change of him stepping up will die down, and I'll have to return to the caretaker role. Can you think of any other ways that she may feel like she has to be the adult for you? Do you buy the shit you need when you need it? Can you remember your own stuff or need her to remind you of it? She may not even be able to put her finger on it or pinpoint specifics. It took me a while to really formulate and communicate what was bothering me and how we could fix it. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.